What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi. You guys are listening to episode 611. Maybe 100 in studio. I don't know. Probably maybe a little less. Last time I was home, last episode, I did a little private one from the Virzi garage room. And now I'm back with another guest, somebody that I wanted on the show. And he just kept saying fucking no. It was no. I'm like, dude, I'd love to get you on the show. I love working with you. No. And then finally he's like, enough, fine. No, my friend first, somebody that opens for me all over the country. He was actually opening for me for the last two specials, pretty much. But definitely this last one that we have in the can. My friend Tyler Horvath, who's fucking hilarious.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it. It's glad I finally said yes, dude. It's good to be here.
Yeah. He's like, fuck you. I don't have time for this shit. Yeah. No, but Tyler is a hilarious young comic. And the reason why I wanted Tyler on the show, there's a lot of, I always told you that you reminded me of a me coming up. I feel like you are also business smart. I feel like you got your shit together. Another reason I like Tyler is because Tyler was a guy who's like, I'm going to have a fucking relationship and try to have a family and do all the things, you know, all of the delusional things we think we can do in this business.
Just try to have it all, baby.
That are incredibly hard and put obstacles in front of us, but ultimately make it better.
It's so good to have some stability in life, you know? I feel, I mean, I appreciate you saying all that, man. And it's, I mean, I think that we kind of bonded over that a little bit because I've been with my girlfriend for like 7 years now. You've had Stacy and the kids. Yep. And seeing someone like do well and like be funny, and you know, it's like every comic. It's like a lot of comics, like especially early on, are like, dude, I can't let anything get in the way of this, whatever. And it's like, well, I don't know if it does get in the way. You know, like maybe you need some checks and balances on, you know, your lifestyle.
Getting in the way for me, and I agree with you 100% with what you said. Getting in the way for me would be if I did live alone or live with a friend and was drinking and sleeping in and had that type of freedom. That would be my obstacle. Not that being with my wife and having kids makes me not free, but it kind of makes me have perspective of like what's important.
Totally. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I did that for years. I had, like, when I was starting comedy in Chicago and everything, like, I lived with my best friends and we had a great time. We were running around to open mics and like starting to do showcases, and you know, like you said, you're out, you're drinking, but once you start to like settle down and, like I said, have some checks and balances, and like someone to be like, wait, you're going out for the what, a night in a row, or like, were you really doing a spot at that late, or are you just like hanging out, like, and just having that, like, that little, like, you know, just, I think like men in their 20s, like we rebel against any sort of structure, but it's every time I've ever like taken on any sort of responsibility or anything that wasn't just I'm doing what I want, it's always been good for me. You know what I mean?
It's like we don't realize it, but like we're a rescue dog who needed the right owner, and and I needed to be domesticated. Yes, and I fought it.
Yeah,
I was literally like a dog that like my wife was trying to make me play fetch, and I'm like, fucking no. I'm relaxing, and she was like, listen, if you have to do this.
You were like probably like the dog. You bring the dog home and he won't eat, and they're like, it's good for you, I swear to God, and that's like you. Yeah, you know, like,
the things that my wife.
She's like, no, I swear to God, I promise this is helping you, and you're like, man, you don't even get me. Yeah, you. You just really don't understand me.
Can you understand me? Yeah, no, it's true. It's like I look back and I go, oh my God, dude. It's so true when they say males take a longer time to, like, women are just fucking, like, they just know. They're just kind of more evolved when it comes to like life.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all know that deep down, but again, it's another fact that we want to rebel against.
Well, it's like the joke that I had too. It's like, it's our pride and ego being like, dude.
Oh, like,
who,
like, don't die on the hill.
Don't talk to, but it's like, yeah, like I would fight everything. I'd be like, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to wake up when I wake up. This is who I am. I'm a night owl. So don't talk to me like that. Okay, if you could have married a doctor, leave me the fuck. All of those things. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, dude, she was.
Yeah.
Because think about this. Think about it like this.
And you wake up at a regular time, like for a week in a row, and you're like, I kind of feel amazing right now. Like everything that she's like, you should really take care of yourself. And you're like, man, you don't get it. Like I'm pursuing a dream. You got to be out late. You got to, and then like for 1 week, you eat well and go to the gym and don't go stay out drinking every night. And you're like, I feel incredible. This is a great idea that I had.
She's like, I made vegetables and fresh chicken and it's roasted. It's got some capers. And you're like, can I just have Chick-fil-A with my friends?
I mean,
I'm going to Dave and Buster's after the show.
The show is at the Dave and Buster's, actually. It's in the back room.
Because here's what it is, okay? A comedian is kind of like an animal that needs to, in their minds, wants to be free. Because everything that we do is us, right? Everything we do is us. If I'm going to bomb, it's me. If I'm going to kill, it's me. Me traveling to that bomb or kill, it's me. Right? All of the things that we do to make money in this business, to get successful in this business, to get ahead in this business, really do have to do with us being in control. But then when you take us home, and we're in that home environment, we still have that I'm in control. But it's like, no, dude. Like,
well, it's also like you need someone to like grab you by the lapel and be like, think about anyone other than yourself for a little while. like you said, when you're going out on the road, you're like, what time do I have to go to this thing? What time do I have to da-da-da? And like, if you have, a significant other, or with kids, I'm sure it's even more like this. It's like, what time do I have to show up and be there for this other person? And like, what time do I have to like, I want to do this to get ahead of this other thing so that it's less stressful for them or whatever. And it just like, we're such like self-centered people on some level, like to pursue this thing, that I think like having someone else that you have to like think about and that you care about, I think it's only a good thing. It's funny that you said that, because I recently me and Stacy were away and she was talking to somebody and I actually heard her say something. When I first heard her say it, I was like, did she just fucking say that? Like she said, she goes, he's just like getting so much more thoughtful. She said something along the lines of that. I'm getting so much more thoughtful and like thinking about like so many other things besides myself now. Right. And when I first heard that, I wanted to be like, what? But when I thought about it, I was like... You took it as like an insult.
Yeah, but what the fuck you mean? It was such a typical...
He's saying
like,
such a kind... What the fuck did you say?
What are you talking? So I'm selfish? That's what the fuck I... No, but like... like I took it as like... She's like, he's so much more thoughtful now. And at first I'm like, is she talking behind my back about how much... But when I actually like digested what she said and I really processed it, she's right, because now I'm like making sure that so many other things in my life around me that aren't me, that don't have to do with me, and I actually like that. And when you could relinquish that control, or you can relinquish being selfish. Listen, it's a job that almost, even if you're not, I know you're a good dude. You're not a selfish guy, but we're in a business where you kind of have to look out for, because it is just, you have to do all of those things in order for you to get to where you want to get to.
Like no one's, the thing that, I don't know who I heard say it the first time, but it's like the thing that you have to, I feel, realize when you're starting, if you ever want to get like anywhere in comedy, I think it's like nobody's coming. Like nobody's coming to like go like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like here's all the opportunities. So like you do have to like think about yourself and your career and like make things happen for yourself. So there is a built-in like, it's actually smart and important that you like focus on what you're doing and what you're trying to do and all this stuff. But like that's not always the healthiest way to live life. No. Obviously, you know what I mean? And so, but I think also probably like, that what she's saying there obviously is that you're growing and like that you're like, and I'm sure that comes with a certain level of success too. You're like, look, I got this. I've got a career going and all this stuff. And earlier on, like, where I'm at, I'm always like stumbling around, like frantically, like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that. Blah, blah. So that also lends itself to like being in your own head and thinking about yourself all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's true. And I think that like when you see the most evolved people, they're people that actually listen. They actually really listen. I mean, really listen when somebody talks, because when you see comics, you know, they're just not, you know, comics are very, I remember Jerry Seinfeld said, like, when a comic is 40, he's mentally 20. And I remember being like, fuck you, Jerry, that's not true.
Yeah.
But you know what, in a way, there is some sort of, like, there's an immaturity.
You're 40 years old with a backpack on, you're like, fuck you, Jerry.
I'm on a subway with a pair of Jordans. I'm like, fuck you, Jerry, I'm an adult.
You got the little spinny hat, the fan hat on.
But, like, I noticed, I was like, I was really caring about other things. And dude, I got to be honest, it made me better on stage. Like when you start to worry about other things that's not yourself, you actually grow and get better and get smarter, because now you're listening and you're living more. Because when you're not living just for yourself, right? When you're not living just for yourself, you notice things that are happening around you in your surroundings. And when you start to notice things that are happening in your surroundings, you get bits and you get jokes, because you see things, because our mind is seasoned already to do that. But now I'm kind of open to, like, and dude, I love when things, and hopefully this continues, and hopefully it is part of getting more successful or being a little more content, is like, I like when things aren't about me. I like when I can just focus on what I focus on, and I love when the job is done and I'm home with my kids. I couldn't imagine, and again, people are gonna be like, that sounds awesome, and it does sound awesome to be like, dude, imagine I'm going to do 4 shows tonight, right? I'm going to go to the Cellar. I'm going to go to the Stand. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go to the West Side. I'm going to do all this stuff. And then me and my buddies are going to meet at a bar after we all do sets. And my buddy got a little Coke, and we're going to do some Coke, right?
This escalated quickly.
No. And I'm saying, like, you're fucking, we're going to do some shots at a pub. Yeah. And then my buddy's bringing a little Coke. We're not going to go crazy. Get a little Coke. And we're going to go to this after party, right? That seems like, when you're a new comic, that seems like, holy shit. But then you're like, how do you sustain that?
Yeah,
like, I mean, that's like, you do that shit. Oh, and then we're going to do that on another Tuesday or Monday. And it's like, dude.
Like, I'm 32 and that sounds exhausting already. You know what I mean? When I was like 24, I'd be like, that sounds incredible. You know, especially mentioning those places where I was at that age. I was like open mics in the back of bars in Chicago. You're like, I'm going to the Stand, I'm going to the Cellar. I'm like, oh, it sounds incredible. You know? But no, I mean, it isn't sustainable. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like, bouncing around and doing spots is one thing, but like having something to go home to it's having someone to go home to, like a life, and even like having friends outside of comedy. Like, I just was in Europe. My friend moved to Innsbruck, Austria, and he was getting married there, and I was like, you know, I love my friends in comedy and all this, but it was nice to go and be with people who don't give a shit about comedy at all. Like, they like comedy and whatever, they're funny people, but it was like, I didn't have to like talk about nobody was like, what you got coming up? You know what I mean? They're just like, how are things? You know, that's all, it's cool, like blah, blah, blah. And then the conversation just moves on to whatever anybody else is doing.
Dude, there's 2 young comedians drinking whiskey listening to this right now like pussies. Give me the Coke. Yeah, they're like, give me the Coke and the bar. But
they're literally like, who's he talking about?
Virzi's an old man. No, like, but you have to, you know what it is? Like, and this is one thing that is the truest thing about comedy, I think. Like-minded people in life gravitate to each other, especially in comedy. Like, I have 5 dear friends in comedy, probably, that I would have around my fucking kids on Christmas, right? There's a few people. But, like, I want to be around people who get it. And I'll give you a perfect example of why Tyler... Yeah, first of all, you got to check. Tyler just keeps getting better. He's open for me in small venues. He's open for me in big venues. He's open for me when the room was half full. He's open for me when the room was overflowing packed. And all in between. And he always gets better. He always has that. You know how I knew too is that, like, you would get that, like, you would show up, you would be there, like, you'd always be there early on a new one. You had that nervous pacing, but in a good way, and then you would go on and you would deliver. And it was like, when you emailed me, it kind of reminded me of when I would feature, and then I would email people I featured. So, like, there would be, like, if it was Brew or Dave Attell or, you know, Burr, and who else did I? There was just a bunch of people that I opened for. And I remember going, when you're a young comic, when you have a good rapport with a headliner, hit them up in an email and go, dude, I don't mean to bug you, but I would be doing myself and my family a disservice if I didn't say, I'm working on stuff, I'm looking to really start featuring, I had a great time with you, if you need an opener again, please do that. Not in a fucking annoying way. So me and you, we worked in Madison. And who was on the show with us?
Scopo.
Okay, it was Chris Scopo.
And I was hosting, and there might have been a guest spot.
It might have been a guest spot. And we were at Comedy on State.
Comedy on State.
And me and you, we hit it off.
Greatest.
We went to a bar, a cigar, whatever we did. And you hit up and you go, hey, dude, had a great time with you, Madison, blah, blah, blah. And after like 3 times, and you never did it annoying, finally you were like, hey, dude, you're going to Tampa. I'm from there. My family lives there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need a hotel. And I'm like, all right, dude, this kid is doing this in a way that's not. Finally, it got me to put it on me. To go, all right, this kid's not being a dick. His family lives there. I did have a good time. Fine,
Right.
let's do it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like-minded people. I saw that you kind of reminded me of a young me. Then I found out about your relationship and what you were trying to do in your personal life. Then I, met your family when they came out to a show. We played golf. And I'm like, all right, this is a dude that I want to go on the road with, play golf with, have a good time with. And you would go up to me and be like, dude, that one joke, you changed a joke of mine by just going... Because I'm nuts. I don't take tags. I don't take jokes off of people. But
I was hesitant to even say anything to you in the first place.
But that's just my craziness and my OCD.
No. I mean, I think it's like it is like it's like a tightrope to walk a little bit. Like all of that. Like even like reaching out to you and all that, and like you talk about the relationship. Like every one of those times that I messaged you or emailed you before Tampa was like I was like. Nervous as hell, and like I was like I can't follow up again, like blah blah, and my girlfriend was like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You're not gonna be impolite, you're not gonna be like, oh, what the hell you said, blah blah. I'm just going like, hey man, just
the most arrogant feature ever. Dude, what the fuck? I thought we had
you said I thought
you're
we had,
lost.
I thought we had something.
Yeah, you're lost. I'm making your show better. I'd be like, yo, this kid's got balls.
That would actually be like, well, maybe you headline and I'll feature it. But no, I mean like, after watching you like all weekend and all this, and to be like, hey, like I don't, if you want to take this, obviously to leave it if you want. But like to put something out there like, oh, maybe this could go, like just switch the order there, blah blah blah.
I forgot where we were.
Yeah, I can't remember, but
no, but you go. Instead of doing that, it was about my kid's friends, and you go instead of doing that, he goes the funnier punch you're putting first, and the other one is funny, but it's not. Yeah. It's not doing what the first one's doing, and I go. You know what? I should just reverse those, and the one.
I think that was more recent.
No, that was
it was
recent.
early.
No.
Oh yeah, very
this
recent.
Is very recent.
Yeah, because that's more like now we've been working together and we're comfortable, and I feel like we can just talk.
Yeah, and
but like in Tampa, I was probably just like. Like I was not.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna give you a tag the first like real weekend we worked together.
No, you were just like reverse those, and I go, because the new tag which hits, I put on early, and I should have put on after, and I did, and I go, oh my god, but like I mean my OCD I'll never be able to take a joke from anybody, but no, the way you handled it, the way you go about your business, it's like,
well, thanks, man.
That's who you want, but that's who I need to be around that, because dude, there are some people that don't get it. Mm-hmm. Like there are some people that don't get it. I remember I was working with this dude, and this dude was just just right out of the gate, you're just going, this just doesn't click, man. Mm-hmm. I don't want to smoke a cigar with this guy after the show. I don't want to be around this guy. This is just not, this is somebody I would never hang out with. Mm-hmm. This is somebody that I don't like the way they think. I don't like, and I'm a big vibe guy, dude. I'm a big vibe guy. Like I can feel, it's something, it's almost like a gift and a curse, where like I can go up and talk to somebody and I just know, hey man, this is a dude that I want to be around, or like this is a vibe and a feeling that I just don't like. And you got to listen to that shit.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is to listen to that, because a lot of people just end up hanging around people that aren't right for them because they're like being polite or whatever. Yeah. But like, to listen to it. But to say, we've talked about this a little bit before, but that first weekend in Tampa, you really helped me out. I mean, you helped me out obviously by putting me on the shows. That was the first and biggest thing. But then when you did see me nervous pacing and walking around, and I was
I remember this,
because it was like packed out. I'm from Tampa. This was, Side Splitters. It was a fantastic club. And I was like nervous because I did like a year in Tampa before I moved to Chicago, and I had tried to get on even just the open mics there, and that was tough. And now I'm back and I'm hosting a weekend with you, and I'm just like buzzy, anxiety, energy.
Oh, is that with Bartnick?
Yeah, Bartnick.
Okay,
Bartnick was featuring, I was just hosting. And you saw me walking around, and anxiety, energy, and you were like, hey man, like, I don't care what happens during your set. You're like, you can bomb and it's fine. You're like, just have fun. you know, you know your jokes, like just go out there and just do it, you know, like don't worry about it. You're not getting fired, basically, was what you were saying. Like it's all good. And that, I can't tell you how helpful that was, because that was just like gave me so much license to be like, okay, well, the floor of this, like, you know, your fear is like, I bomb and I'm off the weekend and I never, you know, you just.
No, the fear is like, you keep, like, comics are so deluded, like, oh my God, I bomb, I get fired, the club never wants me, they kill me in the parking lot, they drag me through the streets, my family boos me. Like all of these like crazy things. But when I saw you with that energy, I remember, dude, because I mean, dude, I had some fucking, I remember Dave Attell, straight up, just Dave Attell watching me. Just watching me. I remember Burr going, dude, you killed. I'm going to stand by the stage and watch your whole next set. I remember, dude, you know, you see it. Like, I remember one time, and it doesn't even matter what you think about these comedians. I remember at the stand, Tracy Morgan's just staring at me, and then he came up, talked to me. And you have this thing, like, what are people going to think? And when I saw you walking around going, oh, it's packed. I mean, you go, it's packed out there. And I saw you nervous. I go, dude, you could go eat a dick for 15 minutes and we could laugh about it later.
Yeah, I'm like, well, good, because that's what I'm planning on doing. So,
but like when you diffuse somebody like that,
totally,
then they're like, oh, okay, it's like, because everybody's been there.
Yeah, no, and I mean it. And that's what it felt like. It felt like you were like, oh, I know what this feels like. Like, let me intervene and try to, you know, take the edge off it a little bit. And it did, so that was great.
No, I'm glad that you recognize that. And, like, because some people hold on too tight and they, like, freak out. And it's like, dude, we're in, at the end of the day, we're in a strip mall in Tampa. Like, end of the day, you know.
It's so funny. And it's all, like, so many of the clubs that were like, oh, my God, do you remember this place? It's so incredible. And then it is in, like, a strip mall. And it's like,
dude, I remember.
And they're amazing clubs, but it's like, it's so funny.
I remember the first time I saw the Stress Factory in New Brunswick packed out, I was like, dude, this is it. Like, this is, and then, like, I go there and headline now, and I'm like, this place is a fucking dump. No offense. No, it's great. Listen, it's a great place to watch. I'm sorry if anybody from that. What I'm saying is,
well, I've only heard good things about it.
No, what I'm saying is,
we'll clip that, right?
A lot of these places are dumps. Can we be honest? A lot of these places are dumps, but they have a good owner who wants good comics. They have a good booker because obviously they're putting the best comics in there. And listen, these places aren't, you know, not every show is exactly Carnegie Hall, right? But you put on a good show. There's good people. They pay you fairly.
And there's something fun about some of the griminess of it, you know, like like it's fun. It's like you know, going to a place that's like befitting of like what's actually going on. Like a lot of the time, like there's certain comics that are like theater acts, like they're all, you know, the buttoned up like Jimmy Carr or something, or Mulaney or whatever. And then there's Attell, who's like, that's a club guy, and like it should be like sort of a little grimy of a place, and like that's why he stayed in clubs this whole time, I think, because he recognizes that, you know, I mean. Another like amazing thing working with you and working with a few other people and just like going on the road by myself is like hearing about all these places and then going to see what they really are is just like, it's such a cool part about comedy, because you hear for years about Comedy on State and about Side Splitters and about all these different, or like The Stand here or New York Comedy Club. It's like, then you go to these places and you're like, oh my God, it's like real. Like I can't believe it. Like, I'm actually here. This is crazy.
Well,
so awesome.
You know, talk about, because I know that there's a lot of people that are into comedy and people that, I know a lot of young comedians listen to this, or I also know a lot of people that want to get into comedy listen. So you're somebody that you said what you were going to do, which I think it's a ballsy move, is to be not from here. You know, I always say guys like you, guys like Mike Albanese, who's helping with the show today, and funny comic in his own right. He's from Georgia. You know, you're from Tampa and Chicago. You know, and for you guys, for me, it was like, okay, get in a car, drive an hour, see if you could do it in New York City. You know, now that doesn't mean that me and a friend wouldn't have made the trip, but like to leave your comfort zone and to go, all right, and you came here, but so I guess what I'll say is like, was New York, because I always tell people, I'm like, dude, it's fucking, comedy's comedy. Like, I remember this one guy from Alabama. He was like, oh, dude, I'm like, dude, fuck New York in a good way. Like, it's comedy. It's like, if they're going to laugh, they're going to laugh. It doesn't matter. It happens to be a big city, yes, but they're also smart. A joke's a joke. And you found, like, once you got rid of the intimidation, you found that, right?
Yeah. I mean, that takes a while, and I think I still have, like, that in a residual way a little bit. Like, when I'm going into a new room here that I haven't done much or whatever, I'm like, I still have that little bit of, like, oh, it's New York and all this. But I think, you know, I came up, like, I'm from Tampa. I did like a year of just open mics there. I moved to Chicago for like 6 years, and then I moved here. So, and I did the road with you a bunch. I did the road with Jeffrey Osmus a bunch. I've done the road a little bit myself, and it's like all that experience, I think, led me to not be as, you know, terrified as I once was of New York, because there is that, like, when you come here and you see all these headliners that you look up to on the lineups, and you're like, well, this is the same play. Like, there's a big intimidation factor, but I think it's just like anything. It's like, it's once you get that first laugh, it's like, oh yeah, no, I know what this is. You know what I mean? But New York is intimidating in a million different ways, and it's difficult to live. It's difficult to move here. It's difficult to live here, and so all of that is wrapped up in it too. It's not like, you know, when you're in your home scene and you're getting all this stage time or whatever, you come to New York and it's not going to be like that right away. And it's like, you're going to pay way more in rent, and you're going to live with more people and you're going to, you know, and that's just like part of it. But I think the intimidation, it just like slowly wears away, just like anything with experience, like with the way you were intimidated to go on stage the first like year that you were doing it in the first place, to go on any stage. And then you have that when you come to New York, and I think it's just slowly fades with experience, you know? And
you're okay with all the minorities here?
That is a...
I'm kidding. Tyler's the least. You're like, that's the biggest hurdle.
That is tough,
we had a great...
You should have just said that was your question, if that's what you're asking
about. No, what I was going to say was, we had a couple, like, I'm trying to think of some of the funniest times we had, and I think one thing that I do a little differently, and it always, my features love it, but you know that I'm not one to, Mikey knows this too. Mike has been with me on, a couple times. Yeah, he's covered a couple times in like Atlanta, but I guess it's safe to say I'm a little bit of a, you know, I like to spend a little, I like to do it right. Like, so we've been to like some loungy
Grand Rapids, dude.
Oh,
when you paid to keep the cigar lounge open.
Yeah, dude.
They were closed because everything in Grand Rapids closes at like 11 p.m. and we were in the cigar lounge.
I love that room.
It was great. It was a great spot. It was like, there was like some, I can't remember what, it must have been basketball or something, because it was that time of night. Like, something was on. We're sitting there, and you always check in. You always
I think it was,
Virzi will always check in. He'll be like, isn't this fucking great? Is anybody having a better time than us right now? Because we're sitting there with the game on. We got a cigar. We got
that should be a tattoo, a Virzi tattoo. Is anybody else having a good time as we're having right now?
Can you guys understand what's happening right now?
This is fucking crazy. And then they wanted to close, and he gets up and he goes, you get up, you go, I'm gonna go drop that guy. I'm gonna go drop the guy 100 to keep the place open.
And then they came back.
We're sitting there, like, me and the other opener are sitting there. Like,
no, the owner.
The owner,
like the booker, yeah.
Big. We're sitting there. I'm going, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think they do that. Like, I don't think if you just pay. And then they came back and they were like, it's gonna be a little more than that.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck it, put it on the car.
I remember. So what happened was we were performing in Grand Rapids at the Listening Room, which, dude, I got to be honest, killer. Like, it was like
killer.
It was the weirdest thing. It was almost like you could do a special there. The way they had it, the lights, and then they had like this like almost like stadium seating, but intimate, right in front of you.
Yeah.
And the stages, they had like this
wider than it is deep room.
Script neon writing in the background and all this stuff, and it was like right next to the hotel. And we did they gave us like extra show or whatever, and like the one show was like really amazing. I remember getting tags. I'm like, dude, that's gonna go in this special. We had a great time. So I'm like, dude, we had such a good time. And the guy, Keith, he goes, hey, dude, I don't smoke cigars, but I'd love to come. I'm like, yeah. So we go in, and this place was like everything I want. Yeah. It was like leather chairs, a fireplace, golf was on.
Yes.
They had a bar. It was just insane. And we walk in, and the guy goes, just so you know, we close at midnight. And I looked at the time, and it was like 10:50.
Yeah.
And I'm going, that's not going to work. Because we all got an old fashioned.
Yes.
I never forget this.
Yeah.
Keith was here. I'm here. You're there. We get an old fashioned. We light these cigars, and I'm in golf highlights. We're talking comedy.
Yep.
Everything is going great, and then it starts to get to that hour.
Yep.
Where it's like we're an hour. It's like 11:45, and I go, this can't end.
Everybody else is closing out.
This can't end.
Or whatever. Yeah.
This can't end. So I go up to the guy at the beginning. I go, dude, I know you said. I was like, listen, while she's cleaning, even if we get like another hour and a half, if I threw you like $100 tip right now, can you just let us stay so we finish our cigars and have one more drink? He's like, I don't know. So then he goes over, and that's when I came back. I go, I don't know. And then they call the owner.
Yeah.
And they call the owner, and they came back, and they go, look, we'll stay open for another whatever, but the owner wants this amount of money.
Yeah.
And it was definitely not 100, and it was, and I go, you know what, dude? I go, fuck it.
You go, is another round included?
I go, yeah. I go, is another. I said, so we could finish our cigar, and we're gonna get another old fashioned, another round on. And we had ones there, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, done deal. Yeah. And we sat there, and it was worth every.
Never seen anything like it. Never seen a place stay open any later than it's supposed to be.
Dude, you better hope.
It was great.
You better hope
incredible.
I keep getting more money, because I fuck it. I'm one like I can't do the wild shit.
The guy asked you for the money. You pulled out your second chain, and you're like, "Do it."
I'm like,
put it on the card.
There's a pair of Jordan 3s and a chain draped over them. I'm like, what's it gonna take, dude?
You walk out there barefoot. You gave him your shoes.
I'm like, 2 more hours. I'm gonna wife
Paul,
beater.
This is not as cool a story as you think it is. You're walking out barefoot.
All in the Hilton Garden Inn robe from his room.
No, dude, I swear to God, man. For me, part of the experience is, and I know you got to be getting paid. You got to get paid a certain amount. And listen, I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying if I said it doesn't drive my wife nuts that I just go a little extra. But I look at it like when I go on the road, I just want 2 things. Just all I want is 2 things. I want a chill opener, and is there a cool cigar lounge or cool spot that is calm where I could watch some highlights, have a whiskey or a bourbon, a cigar, 2 drinks and a cigar, and go to my hotel and go to bed. That's all I'm asking. I don't want any other thing. But sometimes they're like, well, the one place downtown's a shithole.
Yeah.
But this one's like, And a
lot of times, a lot of cities, everything does close early. And when you have like a late show, it's tough,
Yeah.
But there's that place in Tampa that we went to.
The place in Tampa. The weirdest thing is some places that you would think would have don't. Like I think even like Austin, Texas, you gotta, like Dallas, they have a cigar lounge. Were you with me? Were you at the Addison Improv?
No.
Oh, you gotta come and do that one with me. The Addison Improv was amazing, dude. We did that, and we go to this place. There's a piano player. There's this thing. Like I walked in, it was cool. They were all audience members, and they clapped when I walked in, and I didn't know what to, I was like, I was drinking this wine. We're having a great time.
Oh yeah.
But some places don't have. Some places are like, and you got to be careful of places that are 2 in the morning. The only thing is some fans or some people know that this is what I like to do. So they show up.
They're going to be there next time.
They will be like, when I was in Naples.
Yeah.
They were like, you going to Torch? And I was like, probably.
Probably if you could leave me alone when I'm there.
I probably will be at Torch. No, I love, like, the cool thing about cigar smokers that are fans is they just go, like, their cigar fans are different than cigarette fans. A cigarette fan walks into your car.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, Virzi, come on. A cigar guy is just like, love the shit.
They
dude.
send you cigars. They'll be like, hey, they go to the wait staff and they go, can you get this to Paul?
Yes, a cigarette fan asks you for weed. A cigar fan tries to give you cocktails.
Yeah, it would be interesting if a cigarette fan bought you a carton. We're like, what the hell is this? You've never seen smokers buy cigarettes. For, hey, man, I know how you like Newports.
It's 100 cigarettes. It's like basically
there's
5
a guy
cigars.
they don't let in smoking, but there's a pack on my table. He's like, yeah, that's from Johnny. He's not allowed in, but he's a great guy.
The cigarette fan might try to give you Coke. That's like, like the cigar guy gives you a cigar. It's straightforward. The cigarette fan, they might be offering you Coke in the parking lot.
I've got offered drugs by audience members, but like I'm really naive to that shit. Like one time, a guy in South Carolina, he made a 20 a square, and he just cupped it in his hand. And he goes, hey, man, that's for you. And I go, oh, dude, I don't take tips or anything. But then somebody goes, no, dude, there was a gram of Coke in there. But I didn't know. Another guy in Philly Me and Giannis did
You flick it across the room. He's like, no.
I'm playing football. I'm playing field goal shit.
You just hand it right
I'm
to
like, back up, dude. Back up. I'm gonna get this.
You hand it to a bum.
You flick it
Guy
and
about
just
to have the best night of his life.
Yeah, fucking the bum dies because you gave him 20. This thing was fucking fentanyl. No, so one time me and Giannis, I think I told the story before. If I did, I don't mean to sound, I don't mean to repeat myself, but me and Giannis were doing a casino together near Philadelphia. And this guy sees us at a bar after, and he goes, "Great job, dude, really funny, guys." And then I'm walking through, and he just goes, "Hey, Paul, fun, dude." He goes, "You party? You like to party?" And
they
I go,
love to. They
and I
love
didn't know.
that.
I didn't know. So I go, "Dude, I love to party." I swear to God, dude, that's how naive. Like my wife always says that. She goes, "For a street smart guy, there are certain things where you are a fucking one." I go, "Dude, I love to party." So I thought he was gonna be like, "Do you want a cocktail?" And he goes, "Oh, dude, you do?" I go, "Dude, I love to party." He goes, "All right, come to the bathroom with me." And I'm like, "Hey, not that party." And then they were like,
Yo,
"Dude,
was there a secret cigar lounge behind the bathroom?
yeah, like if you come up to me like I'm a happy-go-lucky dude, hey, Paul, you like to party? I'm like, yeah. Dude, what do you want to get a
yeah,
cocktail?
what are you talking
He was
about?
like, come to the bathroom with me, and I'm like, oh no, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't know what that meant, but I do
hilarious.
like. Yeah. I'm in that phase where I'm older than you, so like for me, I'm enjoying not having to do a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean,
But which is cool. We get along because you're kind of of
Yeah.
a two and done. You don't. Get,
Yeah, I love
but
to,
you could go, which I like.
right? Yeah, like if you're like, well, it's one more.
Like
I'm
if
sure.
if I hit the pedal a little harder, Tyler's like, yeah, dude, I'll get a couple more. Like one time we did walk to a bar and put White Claws down our pants and leave.
That was
epic.
That was also Grand Rapids, I
Was
think,
it?
because I think that was the next night when that place was just not even open. Because we went to this,
Yes.
we went to this bar and we were like, oh, let's see what this is the only place that's open. Let's see it, whatever. And we walk in, it's like straight up only college kids in there, and they're like playing beer pong.
They're
There's
like checking our IDs a little too much at the door.
Yeah,
Like
the
let me see.
flashlight.
Yeah.
And there's it's like that. The floor is sticky because everyone has had like 15 drinks in the little plastic cup, and they're spilling them all everywhere. And it's like last call, and they give us White Claw, and they don't open it for us. And I'm like, all right, well, great. Let's get the fuck out of here.
We had to get out.
And we just got out of there, and we just like went back to the hotel
We were a
lobby
little
and
bit
chatted.
like fucking homeless addicts because we go to the lobby of our hotel and we go, hey, can we get one? And they're like, oh, the alcohol's cut off. And me
Right.
and you were like, dude, what a great weekend. We need one more.
Yeah.
So we go to that packed bar and we take a big can of White Claw, put it down our pants, walk out, and then we sat in the lobby and drank it.
Yeah, I don't think they would have even minded. As long as you're not a college kid that's like, passing out there, I think that's what they're really looking for.
You're starting to sound like a guy that likes to party.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that guy was talking about. He's like, I know
That should be
this
the name of
college
this
bar down the
episode,
street.
like to party. No, like I like to have that after show chill thing, and you have to do it with certain people.
Well, and it's like during the show and like before the shows, it's like, we're chatting, whatever, but it's like we're focused on the show, you know, like you're trying to make it the best show, whatever. And then afterwards, it's like, you also we're always like, I sleep in on the road. It's like your day started later, so you kind of don't want to like go right to bed. It's like, it's a classic thing, but it's also like, we're not. There's people that hit the road so hard and actually party and do like wild stuff. So I've always liked that about working with you too. Is like, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna chat, talk comedy, have a drink or two, maybe
Your girl
a cigar.
pushes you to work with me. When you work with Paul again, she knows. Yeah. She's like, nah, I know.
Yeah.
Paul just wants a cigar and 2 drinks, and he's going back.
Yeah. She's like, no more college bars though.
Yeah, why did you end up with a White Claw down here? No, but you do something really smart where you create your own. Like you're one of those guys where I'll be like, what are you doing when we don't work? And you'd be like, oh, I just went to this fucking hole in the wall in Detroit, but they get you up. And I'm like, oh, okay, this guy gets, like, this guy's doing his own thing. You're opening for me. You open for Jeffrey Osmus sometimes.
Yeah.
Who else? Is there another one?
No, those are the main 2. But yeah, I mean, but then I try to do my own thing. There's like so many good rooms now for like someone like me that's like trying to start to headline. Like over the last 2 years, I've been headlining like 60, 80 seat rooms, and it's like, you even only half fill that, but it's like, it's good experience. Like I did like Fargo this year, like I've done Minneapolis a bunch, like I just did Boston. Like there's all these cool like sort of alt rooms that are like popping up because comedy is so big.
Yeah.
And there's like it's all and these rooms are really fun too, you know. It's not just like, I'm taking what I can get, but I am, but you know.
No, I don't mean to cut you off, but I always joke with you because, like, dude, Tyler will find a comedy room at a grocery store. He'll just be like, no, dude, by the produce,
hey,
I'm telling you, dude, 4 o'clock, they get like 9 people. Mike
show.
Albanese, dude, one time Mike was like, Virzi, if you want it, because Mike was always like, when I was trying to write the hour or two specials ago, Mike would be like, Virzi, I got this like apartment or I got this building where we're like in a game room lobby, and at first you think like, how's this gonna be, and then you go in and you're like, dude, thank you, that was like, that was fucking killer, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there's so many rooms like that. It's like,
by the way, Mike, you're gonna be hearing from Tyler a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll be hitting you up about that.
Send a tape.
I just send you this tape, but no, I mean, and like for real, like there's so many like we ran into each other. We've done Austin together after this, but I was in Austin doing like a tiny room there.
Oh yeah.
One of the I don't know, you probably had done Vulcan before this.
Wait, I was doing Vulcan and you were doing the Velveeta room,
Yeah,
right?
I did Velveeta room.
Yeah.
And I remember that because you were like, oh, this is good. You're like doing your own thing. Like you're not just like waiting around. And it's like, because you can't wait around at all. Like if you want to, like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like there might have been a time where people would just, you know, if you got a spot on the right show and someone saw you, they could like pluck you up and go like, hey, you're going on the road or whatever. But now it's like you gotta figure out who books what in what city, and you gotta email them, and you gotta like advocate for yourself to get those spots. Otherwise, and it's just also like you want to, as you get further along, you want to do longer sets. You want to go like, oh, can I do 45?
Yeah.
Can I do 50? Can I do 55? You know, and like, and it was very, very daunting when I started doing it. It still is sometimes, but it's like you got to push yourself in that way, you know. Otherwise, you're not going to grow.
I'm sorry. What was the last thing you said?
Otherwise, you're not going to grow.
Yeah, and it's, you know, but you're one of those guys where like I remember I referred you to the Stand. And I reached out
I
reached out to, well, you should. No, I'm kidding. No, I remember I said to Patrick, you got to watch this kid because not only is he smart, he's super funny. He keeps getting better. And like that night, Patrick texted me going, everything you said was right. The kid killed. And like, so it's like.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, but like.
Thanks.
But when you could see that, you could see who's fucking off. You know, I refer, listen, I'm not going to mention names. There was one person that just like. I was like, oh, this dude could maybe do something if he worked. And like, it was drugs, it was drinking, it was like staggering out of clubs, falling down, like, and going back to his home, like all this stuff. And it was like, okay, man, well, you know what? You can't, listen, you know, it's, you also gotta fucking.
Yeah, you gotta take responsibility at some point, you know, and like keep your head on your shoulders. Like,
now, the real question is when you get to where you get to and you blow up, are you gonna dump your girl?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, that's it.
Thanks for the push, sweetheart. It's over.
Thank you for supporting me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's like there's a thing about like people who get successful where it's like I think they almost always get in trouble on some level on the road with women or drugs or whatever, and it's like having some stability at home and somebody to go home to. Yeah, I think you're gonna stay out of trouble.
Jerry
way
Seinfeld
more.
always says like, just go to the room. There's nothing good out there.
No,
and it's not like if once it reaches a certain time of night, you know, you could get really caught out there with some wild shit. Yeah. And you know, it's
on the road and like people coming up to you after the show and asking you if you want to party. You know,
100%.
You could, and you know, if you don't have your head on straight and like want to be like, no, well, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to like. You might do that a couple of times, and one of those could get you into trouble. You know
what amazes me, and it's not in a good way, but these dudes that can just go out and like you'll see them like just with women, and in your mind you're going like, isn't that dude with someone or like, or like you could just you just see somebody that like in their mind it's like. They're just down for whatever drug, whatever. And you're just like, yo, this dude just doesn't. And there's almost like I don't want to say because it's horrible, but it's almost like to be that free with your narcissism, it's like a nutty. Do you know what I mean? Like, because to them, there is no. There's no empathy. There's no consequence.
No responsibility.
It's almost like, would that person be a criminal? Like
they probably are. I mean,
like if somebody, when I see somebody that is like that reckless but funny and have a career, I'm almost amazed. I'm just
I just don't know how they. I mean, it just sounds so exhausting. Like God. Like. If you go like a long weekend, like when I was in Austria, it was like my friend's bachelor party, and it was like nothing crazy. It was just like drinking every night, and it's like after a few days of that, you're like, dude, I need to sleep a whole day. Like I don't know how people stay doing this we're actually partying like for a long time.
Me and my wife were in Montego Bay, Jamaica, like 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
and we literally from Thursday to Sunday, literally woke up. She would read her book. I would get up. We'd go to breakfast, right? Go to the beach. Bars open. Daiquiris, cocktails, pool, beach. Daiquiris, cocktail, pool, beach, dinner, wine, bed. The next day, repeat. And by the fourth day, I go, babe, incredible. I can't. Like, I needed a vacation from the vacation. I'm like, I'll go, this has been too relaxing and like too much drinking and too free, and it was an all-inclusive. So like I just woke up with like a banana rum daiquiri, and I was just like, all right, and we just kept going.
I think banana-ry is the better
banana-ry?
term for
it. They called it a dirty banana. Ooh. And it was just, no, dude, it was like.
I mean, the name needs work is all I'm saying.
How passed out were you?
Just give him a dirty banana. He won't know the difference.
He's not gonna like flip him over. Give him
they
a
just
dirty
throw
banana.
me a rotten banana. This place is like, no, we were so.
Eating a banana with the peel on.
You ever like drink?
Like it was great, all inclusive.
You ever have such a great day that at dinner on the water with wine, you're like, dude, I just cannot. They were like, are you guys going to come to the fire pit beach party? And me and my wife were like, no. Yeah, absolutely not. We are going to bed, dude.
No, I haven't had that. I'm not. That's not the level that I'm at yet, Paul.
I got Comfort Plus last week. Is that the same thing?
I'm crashing on couches over here, Paul.
Dude, no, I'm telling you. That's hilarious. I'm
Anyone
like, you ever stay on an ocean house?
Fire pit on the beach, I'm going. I don't. It's not a.
I've seen two of those things separately, never at the same time.
You ever been on the beach after dinner with wine? I'm like, no, I can't afford. I've been in a field with an IPA. That's not
a hotel with a white.
You're like, I've been at like a fucking. You're like, I've been at a mobile on the highway.
I've been in a hotel with a White Claw with you. Not quite as romantic as yours, but
no, I got beef jerky in my room off the fucking highway in Houston one time.
Jeff Bezos ever annoy you? Be like, come out again on the yacht. It's like, relax.
Like, no, dude, I got a pack of Twizzlers and watch Talladega Nights.
Zuckerberg, I can't hang out with you every night. I gotta see my wife.
No, you'll see though. You'll see, like you and your girl. You'll go on an all-inclusive, and you'll be like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
but you guys still. Mike, how old are you?
Turned 40.
Oh shit! Okay, Mikey is gonna reach the injuries and the slowing down. You have about 4 years until that. Yeah, I mean Mike's got a cane. Okay, Mike's.
Yeah, what do you mean he's about to reach it?
So Mike's
guy's got a boot on right now.
I tripped over a pine cone and it was a month ago.
Not to mention he's 6'5" and looks like a tight end.
Yeah.
I have a herniated disc in my back. I have something in my neck. I mean, I'm a mess. You're 32. You have a little time. Yeah. I would say you got about 4 or 5 years of like being able to like not have like injuries all the time.
Yeah.
So cherish it, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just went snowboarding when we were in Austria, and I was like, oh, I'm not who I used to be anymore. Like the next day, I could barely walk. It was insane.
I would love for you to call me when you're 42 and go, dude, I just went snowboarding in Austria and I'm in a full body cast. Yeah. No, I don't want you to be in a full.
I FaceTime you. I'm like this.
You're like, you're right, Paul. It was a mistake.
I should have cherished it when I had it.
But you guys got to check out Tyler, man, because Tyler, he's the type of guy, man. He's doing it right. He's putting out the clips. I met his family, and your family is great. Like his dad, you said something. that I love, and I always think about what your dad said, because your dad is a
He's in the wine business. He worked for years in like wholesale, and now he runs he does all the buying and selling for this shop in St. Pete, Mazzaro's, which you know.
Mazzaro's in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Tampa, St. Pete, right across the bridge.
You were and you were nice enough to, I think he gave me a bottle or something. Or
Yeah, but I brought a bottle from home that he sent to us when we were in the green room the last time we were in Tampa.
Two things I love before we get out of here about Tyler's dad is, one, he knows how to live, because what did he say about the occasion of the wine?
Oh yeah, so when I was in college, my dad sent me.
So great.
He sent me back. And like in college, you're drinking like Busch Light and terrible stuff. I go back to college from being home for Christmas with like 2 cases of like amazing wine.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is gonna last us forever. We drink through like most of it in like 2 weeks, and then. But there's one bottle. It's this wine called Brunello that was like amazing. It's the one that my dad and I drink on any big occasion. When I graduated high school, when I graduated college, birthdays, all this, Christmas, all this stuff. That's like a occasion wine. And my dad said, you guys are probably, whatever, a month later, whatever. My dad's like, you guys probably drank through all that wine by now, huh? And I was like, well, all but the Brunello, we're saving it. We haven't had an occasion, to open it. My dad goes, the occasion is when you open the bottle.
That's right. That's such a good way to live. It's like, don't let a good bottle get dusty.
No.
Because you are waiting. Although I will say, I had a bottle of $600 bottle of champagne, and I waited to get a comedy special to get it, and it was dusty and it was years old, and then we fucking put that puppy on ice, and it was good. But what you're saying is, you got a good bottle of wine and you're with good friends, open it.
Yeah.
But the second thing I love about your dad, live now, dude. The second thing I love about your dad is how Italian he wants to be.
Oh, he wants.
And it is my favorite. And as soon as I found that out, I go, I see. This is why I knew I liked Tyler. Like his dad, your dad's Hungarian, right?
Yeah, we're Hungarian. That's what Horvath is.
And he loves
from.
Italians.
He just loves Italy. He loves Italian. They're going in like August, September. They're going back, and he knows all these people from being in the wine business all these years. When we were just in Austria, we went to Verona. It's like a 3-hour train ride, and my dad knew somebody. They let us stay on the vineyard for free, gave us a tasting, all this stuff. So every time he comes back, I'm like, how is Italy? He's like, they just know how to live over there. I come home and he's got he's wearing the sweater over his shoulders with the sleeves coming down. He wants to be like from Italy, Italian guy.
I almost want to get him that jewelry, the horn. The fact that your dad loves Italians, and like you said, everything about Italy and Italians he loves is my favorite.
He loves it. I mean, in another life he must have been.
Dude, when he sees me in Tampa, the smile he gives, he just gives this smile, and he's just like, hey, great. And I'm just this guy's the best.
Yeah, he's also
your mom's a sweetheart. Your family's great, man.
Yeah. Well, they're also like, thank God somebody's giving him work. They're also grateful for that.
Paul, he's out of the house. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. He doesn't have to move back in with us. He's only visiting. Thank God.
I couldn't have somebody better that is like my regular opener than you.
Thanks, man.
Because you, like I said, man, you just get it. You're super funny. It's not only is the comedy talk great and the work that we do and all that stuff is cool, but cigars, the golf, the family stuff, I know you're going to do extremely well. Tell everybody where they can see your stuff, all about your clips, your online shit, where you're going to be and all that.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you
Imagine
for all
he's just
that.
like, well, where's your dates, Paul? Where's your fucking website?
PaulVirzi.com.
My website's tylerhorvathcomedy.com. I have a few dates coming up there. I'm going to be in Tampa in May and Columbus in May. I'll do more in the fall and stuff. And so just look there. Tyler J. Horvath on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that. So I'm putting out clips. I'm going to be starting my own pod soon and all that. So yeah, check me out there.
Horvath, that's Horvath. Check him out. This kid is coming. He's funny. For all my dates, guys, go to paulvirzi.com. I want to thank everybody. That's been coming out to the shows, that's been reaching out about shows. Troubadour, guys. I'll be at the Troubadour on May 10th for the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival. It's a small venue. Tickets are going. You get tickets to that. The next day, I will be at the Red Clay Comedy Festival doing the Bone to Pick podcast live at the Earl, 8 o'clock on the 11th with Bobby Kelly. Tickets are going for June 8th You'll be with me on June 8th.
Yes.
Gramercy Theater. It's a makeup date Saturday night. Get in there. Tickets are going for that. And then I have Seattle coming up, Portland coming up. We have Tampa coming up. We have Rhode Island coming up, and more dates. Go to paulvirzi.com. Thank you guys for that. Continue to check out, share, and comment on Nocturnal Admissions, which is streaming right now on Netflix. We got the new one in the can. Can't wait for them to see that. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. So we'll see you next week. I'm so glad I could have Tyler on the show. And I'll see you guys next week on A Virzi Effect. Take care. I'll see you guys soon.